Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. All right, today's gonna be one of those bringing everything together type of videos. People have been coming up with this question. Here we go. Here's how to actually plan out your meals. So hopefully you've been watching this channel for a while. If not, you're gonna need to go back and watch several videos before this all kind of comes together cohesively. First, we went over how to calculate your maintenance calories. This is critical. From there, we talked about how to set your macros based on that. Like, what are your goals? Do we want to build muscle, or do we want to burn fat, or do we want a body recomp? How do we set up those macros? And then just a couple weeks ago, Giacomo made a video about meal timing. How many meals a day should you eat? How spaced out should they be? Once you've sort of determined all of those things for yourself, you should be set and ready to go. But a lot of people have said to me, like, okay, I have all this information, but like, I'm really still struggling with plugging in my food. Like, I don't know what I should be eating to hit these macros. And of course, the answer is that you should be eating foods that you enjoy eating to hit your goals. So we've talked a lot about how certain processed foods are not the devil like we once thought they were, and actually they can sometimes be helpful in allowing you to reach your macro goals. So if you, for example, if you don't like beans, which a lot of people don't like beans, you don't have to eat beans to get your goals. If you don't like mushrooms, you don't have to be eating mushrooms. You need to be enjoying your food or you're not gonna stick to it. So obviously we want to include lots of whole foods, fruits, vegetables, nuts, seeds, grains if we can, but ultimately you need to enjoy what you're eating. So I'm actually going to go into MyFitnessPal with my own goals in there, and I'm gonna share my screen with you, probably somewhere over here. Okay, so I'm in MyFitnessPal right now, and as you guys can see, my goals for the day are 150 grams of protein, 275 grams of carbs, and 50 grams of fat. Yours are gonna look totally different, and that's okay. That's kind of the point, actually, is that it's very, very custom to you, your current goals, etc. So just to put it in perspective, my goals right now are to build muscle. So this is slightly above my maintenance at the moment. So I'm gonna go into diary, and it's worth mentioning that I have the premium MyFitnessPal, so if you have the free version, it might look a little bit different than this. So I've set up my diary, as you can see, to have 4 meals. That's what I've found to be the best for myself. The very first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add my main protein source for all of my meals. So that is what I'm going to do right now. And you're just kind of trying to ballpark what you think is going to be around the right amount of protein for you. So if I have 4 meals and my goals are 150 grams of protein, each meal needs to be just under 40 grams of protein. So that's what I'm going for. So I'm going to put in 1.5 servings of gluten to meal 1. My afternoon, I'm going to put in tofu. I use the Soya Extra Firm. So you can see 7 ounces here only puts me at about 21. So I'm going to put it up to 10 ounces. And this is going to seem like a lot, but watch, we're going to adjust these numbers later. So 10 ounces is 30. And then for dinner, I'll do the Morningstar Farms chicken strips. That's 34. And then my 4th meal, let's say I'm going to use a protein powder. So I'm going to use 1.5 scoops in a shake. Okay, and that 4th meal for me, that 4th meal kind of floats around. Sometimes it's dessert, sometimes it's a snack in the middle of the day. It goes where it wants to go. All right, so now I have my protein, and what you can do is, this is a tip, a lot of people don't know this, because people are like, well, how do I see my totals for the day? If you take your phone and turn it to the side, all of the macros pop up. So just with those protein sources, you can see I'm at 129 grams of protein right here. So let's go back. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna plug in around that. I have way more carbohydrates than I have of fat, so I'm gonna start plugging in carbohydrates. So for breakfast, I know I'm going to have my oatmeal alongside my seitan, which is what that vital wheat gluten is. So I'm gonna plug in some oats. So I put in 40 grams there. I'm also probably going to have a peach with that. They're usually about 120 grams, and I'll plug that in. For lunch, I'm going to have like a tofu sandwich. So I'm gonna plug in my Dave's Killer Bread. I will do 2 slices of Dave's Killer Bread here. Not sure what else I'm gonna have there for dinner. It's always gonna be potatoes, guys. I love potatoes so much. So like a medium sized potato is usually about 250 grams of potato. I will plug that in. And then with my shake, I know I'm gonna put at least a banana in there. And that is gonna be 130-ish grams if it's a big banana. So again, I plug all that in, I go back, I flip my phone to the side. There we go, I'm at 170 grams of carbs and 154 grams of protein. So you see, I just went over my protein goal right there. So just make a mental note, go back to what you were doing. Next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start to plug in vegetables. So I always have a lot of vegetables at dinner. I'm gonna plug in broccoli. I'm gonna do about 200 grams of broccoli here. And at lunch, I'm probably going to do some lettuce and tomato and pickle on my sandwich, but honestly, that's gonna be such a small amount, I'm not even gonna count it. But what I am gonna count is I'm gonna count a salad. So I'm gonna plug in romaine lettuce, 4 cups. I'll plug in tomatoes, about 30 grams. Might end up being more than that. And I'm just keeping this simple right now for the sake of this video. Pro tip, if you're looking for grams of something, you can type in the word and grams. So I'm typing in cucumber, grams. And see the top one pops up as 100 grams. We'll say I'll have that. And then I know if I'm having a salad, I am going to put my dressing on it. So that for me is a red wine vinaigrette. I'll put in 2 tablespoons. And there we go. Back up to breakfast, maybe we'll add more there, but let's go down to dinner. Again, if I'm having broccoli, then I'm probably gonna add some nutritional yeast to that because I love it. I'll say 1 tablespoon. Gonna add that. Oh, and another thing I know I'm gonna add is in the protein smoothie, I am definitely going to be adding some soy milk. So we'll say a cup there. And I'll probably add a handful of spinach as well. So it's probably gonna be about a half a cup. Okay, so now I'm gonna spin my phone to the side and check out the macros where we're at right now. 203 carb, 39 fat, and 170 protein. Wow, we're way over protein now. We're about 20 grams over. So let's go back in and look at all of these meals and see where we can now decrease our protein a little bit. So 10 ounces of tofu is pretty nuts. Let's bring that back down to 7. And we have 47 grams in dinner. So let's make this 1.25 servings instead of 1.5. Check where we're at. We're still a little bit over. So let's go down to that protein shake and again, make it 1.25 servings instead of 1.5. Okay, check her out. So now we're spot on the money, but we still have about 17 grams of fat left and about 75 grams of carbs left. So we have like the bases plugged in. We have our protein covered. We have vegetables in there. We have some fruits in there. Now this is where we get to add some fun stuff. Oh, we also have whole grains in there. So now we get to add some fun stuff. So how about to breakfast, we add some almonds. And I have them in grams here. I'll put in about 16 grams. I could also add some berries to that meal as well. And I know this is gonna be my pre-workout meal. So I would like it to be substantially carbohydrate heavy, so I'll add 100 grams there. To lunch, we have that sandwich. I'm gonna add a slice of Daiya cheese to it because I love vegan cheese, guys. Judge me, I don't care. I think it's delicious. So I'm gonna add 1 slice there. And I could probably add some beans here as well. So let's say chickpeas on that salad sounds really good. So that's about 17 grams. You'll see it also added about 5 grams of protein. So we'll take a look at that one last time at the end. Dinner, let's say I want to dip those Morningstar Farm chicken strips in barbecue sauce. Let's say I'll do 2 tablespoons of barbecue sauce. And it's a chocolate mint protein shake. So let's add another tablespoon of cocoa powder here. Okay, that looks like a pretty well-rounded day. Let's check out where we're at here, sideways. So we're about 10 grams over on protein, but we still have about 20 grams of carbs left, but we're pretty much capped out on fat. So let's go back in here. I still think even 7 ounces of tofu is a lot of tofu. So we'll make that 6. We'll come down to that shake. We will make it one even scoop. And let's say for lunch, we also have a big 200-gram apple. Okay, I think we're pretty dang close here, so let's take a look. 280, 48, 153. Now, I could go back in and keep tweaking it until we are spot on to the gram, but in my opinion, you have about 10 grams of wiggle room, so plus or minus 5 grams with the carbohydrates and the protein, and I say about a 5-gram window, so plus or minus 2.5 grams or so of fats. So in my opinion, we have nailed it. And we also see here that we have 57 grams of fiber, which is kind of high for me, but it won't be for someone else because everyone has different amounts of fiber that they can tolerate. But in general, I like 20%-ish of my carbohydrates to come from fiber, and we're right around that area. And then your sugar should be less than double your fiber, and it is here. So here we go, folks. That is how I would plan my meals. These are all foods I like. I will look forward to this. So just to spell it out in case it wasn't clear, breakfast here will be oatmeal with peaches, blueberries, and almonds with a side of seitan that I'll make from that gluten using my 5-minute single serving seitan recipe. Afternoon here will be a tofu sandwich on Dave's Killer Bread with a side salad with chickpeas and red wine vinaigrette and an apple on the side. And dinner will be broccoli with nutritional yeast, Morningstar Farm chicken strips with barbecue sauce and baked potato. And then at some point during the day, I will have a snack made with protein powder, banana, soy milk, spinach, and cocoa powder, and as much ice and water as I would desire. So there we go, guys. I really hope that that is helpful for you. Everybody's meal plan is going to look completely different. And of course, there's certain things in there that I'm not going to count right now that I probably would if I was deep in contest prep. Things like lemon juice or the pickles on my sandwiches. I'm not going to count them right now. It doesn't make sense for my current goals, but you can watch some of my contest prep videos and see how strict I may or may not have to get, because you probably will have to become more strict during a contest prep or a strict fat loss phase as well. But hopefully this helps you out. If you have any other questions, please let me know in the comments down below. I really look forward to hearing your feedback, and I will talk to you soon.